So the Game Award nominees for 2023 were just announced, and I know a lot of people don't care about these awards, but I find them kind of fun. So starting with the biggest award of the year, the Game of the Year award. Yeah, pretty solid choices. We got the obvious ones: Baldur's Gate 3, which is gonna win, right? Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man, Resident Evil 4, which is personally my favorite game of the year so far, but I've only been like 10 hours in Baldur's Gate, so that might take it. Super Mario World, I was happy to see get nominated. I feel like it got a lot of great reviews, but people don't really talk about it. And Alan Wake 2, which was nice. It was a surprise that came out and was as well received as it was. I knew it was going to be a pretty popular game, but for it to make Game Awards after only being out for a few weeks, nice job. And the only snubs potentially, Street Fighter 6 had really good reviews, low 90s on OpenCritic, but didn't seem to make the cut. Diablo, which had good reviews, but I think the fan community and just kind of like the ongoing support for that kind of killed it. And Starfield. Starfield was, yeah. And then you go into the next category, game direction, which is literally the same thing minus Resident Evil 4. I guess because it's a remake, so, but I feel like there's some direction that is decided on. But here, I think the same thing. I think Baldur's Gate's gonna get it again, but from a game design perspective and everything, it's pretty revolutionary. I know this kind of RPG has been out in the past, but from how well and how polished it was, and the design of everything, how the dialogue, the combat, everything's designed, and how much there is to it, I think it's gonna win. If it doesn't, then I can see Tears of the Kingdom getting the nod here just because of all the physics and the engine and everything. Best narrative, I feel like could be a little contentious, right? Baldur's Gate 3, again, kind of seems like the obvious choice, but now they added Final Fantasy 16 into here, which, while I have issues with the gameplay of that game, story's phenomenal, the lore's phenomenal, so I feel like them adding in that could be potential there. The Cyberpunk expansion was awesome, but I feel like because it's an expansion, it's just not enough to give it the story nom. And then Spider-Man had a great story, but I think it was like a step down from the first game. So I think it's one of those. Still haven't played Alan Wake, so I don't know. That might get it. And then for best art direction, really hoping it goes to Super Mario Wonder because that game looks gorgeous on a Switch of all things. I know Tears of the Kingdom looks really good too, but again, it's kind of still like an expansion of Breath of the Wild, and I don't think it does anything that didn't do crazy well. Alan Wake 2, great looking survival horror game. Again, kind of like the way the monsters and everything from the gameplay I've seen looks great. Hi-Fi Rush would be my second choice. It is gorgeous, it's so creative. And when I think of art direction, I know realistic graphics can go a long way, but sometimes these like cartoony, really like vibrant colors and things that pop and creativity thrown out is kind of what stands out more to me. And then Liza P, again, mostly just watch stuff. Seems like more of a gritty. I like the character designs and everything like that, but I don't think it would win that. Score and music is tough, because these all have amazing music. I think Final Fantasy might have this one because with all the boss battles and all the music that they're playing and everything and like the big bombastic music, I think that's what the Game Award kind of likes. I hope the Game Awards has another one of those presentations with all the top nominees music as well, because that's always fun. Tears of the Kingdom has really beautiful music. Again, I think Tears of the Kingdom is just going to get snubbed for a lot of these because it's like the second best game of the year to a lot of people, and Breath of the Wild already won a lot, so I don't know. Hi-Fi Rush also has amazing music, but I think for just specifically score and music, it would be Final Fantasy. And then for the actual audio design, while I think Dead Space and Resident Evil have great, like, monstrous, kind of crazy noise, Hi-Fi Rush, yeah. Like, the game, if you don't know, is based around playing with, on a rhythm beat. So it's like a rhythm action game, and the audio design is literally the whole purpose of that game. So if it gets any nomination or wins anything, this has to be it. Best performance is also tough. I think Cameron's going to win it for Star Wars Survivor. I feel bad that game didn't really get a lot of nominations because it was a really solid game. I think, but more in like the 8 range and not like the 9s where you need to be to get the top awards. But yeah, I think he had like a really nuanced performance. He did a lot of great stuff. I think Yuri also did a great job in Spider-Man. Obviously, Idris Elba did a great job, but again, it's like an expansion, so I think that kind of holds it back. I thought the Final Fantasy performance is a little over the top and much. I know it's a hot take. And then same thing for Baldur's Gate and Alan Wake. I think really good as well from what I've seen, but I think just in terms of like capturing it as that one main performance, I think Jedi Survivor has this. Innovation in accessibility. I know people like don't really care about these kind of words as much, but I really appreciate that they do stuff like this because I think this is important to making this more of a universal medium and stuff. So I appreciate these kind of awards, and a lot of these games actually go pretty far. The ones I'm most familiar with, Spider-Man and Hi-Fi and Street Fighter, actually have really cool accessibility things for different issues or different ways to make the game more universal for people to play and everything. I don't know enough about every single one of these to say. From what I know Street Fighter is pretty accessible, but I'm not sure if it's more accessibility to newcomers in the genre or just to general people. So I don't know. This can go anywhere. I know Spider-Man did quite a bit, so maybe that would win it. Games for Impact. The one I know the best here is the Space Road Bound because I have it on my computer and just still haven't really played it. But I know a lot of these games were really popular in like their communities and everything. Another category which I really appreciate is there. I think Space Road Unbound is going to win just because I've heard the most about it and I think it's the most popular. Now, does it hit the most important themes and everything in comparison to these ones? I don't know, but yeah. This ongoing game, the fact that they put Cyberpunk in here makes me think Cyberpunk's going to win it because it's not really an ongoing game. But because they added the expansion, I guess they're going to consider it. And that expansion really like made the game a lot better than what it was initially, which was still a mostly decent game. So I think that's going to win it. Other than these are just kind of like generic choices that win every year. So to do something different, I think that'll. Community support. I think No Man's Sky has won a couple of times here. Probably Baldur's Gate. I think they're really active with the community and like fix things and talk and stuff. So probably that. Independent game. The fact that Pizza Tower is not here, I think, leads to the fact that Dave the Diver is going to win, because I think out of the indies, that was the most popular. That was the one that got a lot of buzz. I know Sea of Stars and Dredge are really good games as well. I've heard the other two, don't really know much about. And again, this is probably more just like just going off of popularity, but I think Dave the Diver probably has the highest reviews on OpenCritic, and probably will win. And then in terms of indie debut, yeah, same thing. Mostly the same games, but I think Pizza Tower is going to win this one because it's there, and that was like really well loved. And yeah, who gives a shit? I think this one will probably go to Horizon because I heard that was a really good VR game, one of those that actually tries to push the genre and stuff like that. I think PSVR 2 came out this year, and no one talks about it. And I mean, I don't know. All right, so in terms of best action game, I'm really hoping Armored Core gets it. There's some flaws with that game, but just in terms of pure action, combat, and everything, I had the most fun with it, and it was cool, and you're in a mechs, and you can do Neon Genesis, Evangelion stuff, and yeah, the other games are also great action games, but what the fuck? Action adventure, if Tears of the Kingdom doesn't win a lot in the other categories, I think they'll give it to it here because it needs to win something because it's too good of a game not to win anything. Personally, again, I think Resident Evil 4 is my personal favorite out of these choices. So I would like to see it win, especially I don't think it has much of a chance to win in anything else. So here you go. RPG, probably Baldur's Gate. I don't really see any of these even close to that. Fighting game, Street Fighter 6. Like I said, probably should have been in the nominees. For best game of the year. It has like a 92 Metacritic, OpenCritic score. So I think it's by far the best. But I heard the SpongeBob game is kind of good. This is going long, so Party Animals. Apparently I should play that because that seems fun, but probably Super Mario. I would guess Company of Heroes, but I think Pikmin would be a personal choice. Probably Forza, I guess. I hope Party Animal wins it just because it's kind of a random choice there, and probably the most fun as a group. But I guess Baldur's Gate because it has pretty cool multiplayer for a mostly single player. Adaptation, I think Twisted Metal is kind of underrated. Gran Turismo is aight, and Castlevania is kind of a little mixed. I mean, it's The Last of Us. Let's be real. This seems kind of like a little bit of a weaker list, even though I'm really excited for all of these games. But Final Fantasy is probably going to win, especially with the reveal last year. I don't know. And yeah, I don't keep up enough, but I mean, Valorant, I think that's the most I see on TikTok. But yeah, that's my choices. It seems like it's been an insane year for games and everything, and I'm almost at 10 minutes here, so I'm just going to speed run. But yeah, it's been an insane year for games, and it's really exciting, and I think Game Wars are fun, so invite your friends over and play it if you have friends. If not, just watch it alone or watch it on Discord or something like that. So yeah, thank you. This is like 10-minute TikTok. I didn't even know we can do this. Okay. How do I stop? How do I stop? Millennial stop. Millennial pause.